Hello and welcome to the Happy Mama. If you're new here, my name's Hannah and I make videos all about being a mom, gentle parenting, holistic living, hormone videos, and so much more. So if any of those interest you, please click that subscribe button and give this video a like. So today's video, we're talking all about preparing our body for pregnancy. Now, if you all have been following my journey and my channel, you know that I guess it was around a little less than a year ago, I announced that, my son was two now, and that me and my husband wanted to start trying for baby number 2. But within like a month or two, I realized that I didn't want to jump the gun on that. I'll link the video below kind of explaining what the deal was or why I kind of backed off the idea of really trying for baby number 2. Now, we weren't trying for baby number 2, but we weren't preventing either. That being said, if it was around the time that I thought I was ovulating, I would sort of prevent every now and then. So I don't know, take that however you want. A week or a week and a half ago, me and my husband sat down and we are ready now. We are actually ready. We have had our peaceful time with just the 3 of us, and we are ready to grow our family. So we are set and ready to do this. So I thought I would make this video to show you the supplements I am now taking, slightly different from that first time, and what I'm doing to prepare my body for pregnancy. Because since I have been pregnant before, I kind of know how my body reacts, or at least how it did react, and I know what I wanted to work on going into this pregnancy. Also, have done more research on preparing the body for pregnancy, especially with this time I've had of being like, I do want another baby, but at the same time I'm really enjoying this like routine and everything going on right now, and kind of in that limbo. I was like, you know what? This is the time I need to take to really research and prepare more for this baby, as opposed to my son, who I was just so excited to be pregnant. I was like, let's just get this all rolling. So anyway, without further ado, let's just get started. Now, first I'm going to be talking about the supplements I am taking, and I am taking supplements to specifically support a healthy pregnancy, fertility, and implantation, you name it, everything that goes into getting pregnant. That's what these first round of supplements I'm going to be telling you are all about. If you've been watching my channel or watch any of my other videos on how I conceived my son, I brought up a company called Fairhaven Health. It's a website and it's all about holistic fertility supplements for men and women. Never have dabbled into the men aspect, but I have with the women. And with my son, we actually conceived him the month, like 3 weeks after taking their supplements. So I am including those, of course. Like I said, we are serious this time. Like, we are ready to go. And that is their FertilAid and their Ovaboost, again by Fairhaven Health. It's a fertility supplement plus prenatal vitamin. It promotes cycle regularity and hormone balance. So it has herbs and vitamins in here to support all of that. And then, like I said, I'm also using the Ovaboost, which promotes egg quality and healthy ovarian function. It has those star ingredients, myo-inositol, still don't know how to pronounce it, antioxidants, and folate. These two are the stars of the show. At least they were last time I conceived my son. And let me tell you, just a day or two after taking these, I could already just feel my body changing. My boobs were getting sore and full, and it just, you feel the difference right away. If you have been trying everything, you have your diet in check, you have your lifestyle in check, and you have still been having issues with getting pregnant, I highly recommend you try these supplements, because like I said, when I introduced them when I was actively trying to conceive my son, they were game changers. Next, and not surprising, is a prenatal. I have found and it is a whole food vitamin, which means there's nothing synthetic in it. There's no chemical vitamins in it. It is simply vitamins from whole food sources, and it is vegan. I'm plant-based, if you all have already don't know, and it has the folate, the iron, and the DHA in it. So it is a complete prenatal vitamin. I really like that, and my stomach, my body seems to respond really well to this, and I feel like it's a great price too. This is also a very clean vitamin. There's no added junk in it. Like many times you will read the vitamins and then you'll see other ingredients, and it'll just be like a list this long of other ingredients they've just thrown into the vitamin. This, the only other thing it has is vegetable cellulose. Next supplement I am taking, which I only take on cloudy days or days I feel like I'm not going to be out in the sun, and that is this vitamin D K2 supplement. So again, since I am plant-based, there is actually no K2 in this, which comes from animals. It has precursors for your body to use to make its own K2. So I have taken this vitamin D for a couple of years now. This is my favorite brand. I give it to my son as well when we aren't getting enough sunshine. It's really easy to take. It doesn't really have a taste. You don't take a lot. I always, though, am sure to pair it with another supplement I will be mentioning here in a little bit, because they go hand in hand on absorption with each other. That too is why the K2 is in there, or the precursors to the K2 are in there. I'm not going to get into that because I'll just bore you all and whatever. But basically I'm just trying to get in the vitamin D and K2, and this is a supplement I use for that. I always thought vitamin D was an actual vitamin, but your body actually uses it as a hormone, which I thought was so interesting. And you know, typically you get your vitamin D from the sun. So if you live in a cooler climate with not lots of sunshine, or you are just not able to get out in the sunshine, I highly recommend a vitamin D supplement. Next supplement is my probiotic. If you all, again, have watched any of my other videos, you know probiotic. Typically always taking one. This one happens to be the one I'm taking now. It is a liquid. It tastes like water. You take 4 droppers. For me, this is convenient because my son can take this probiotic too, but definitely with pregnancy, you want to be taking a really high quality probiotic. I recommend looking on Amazon, reading reviews, seeing which one works for you. You want to have one with multiple strains, lots of living microflora to get in your gut and in your body. Now, 1, this is just going to help you absorb nutrients better. 2, this is going to help with your digestion, which tends to really change during pregnancy. And 3, it's actually going to help with the bacteria growing in your vagina. So I don't know if you all are familiar, if this is your first pregnancy or you've had multiple ones, but at the end of your pregnancy, they are going to test you for strep B, and it's a strain that some women have living in their vagina, and if you have it, they make you take an antibiotic before birth or before delivering the baby to be on the safe side. But I try to avoid antibiotics at all costs, and if probiotics have been shown to help minimize the risk of having strep B. So get yourself a good probiotic. I will link this one and all these supplements down below, but there was one I took my last pregnancy which I really, really liked, and it turned out, I didn't even realize this till, I think it was just last year, it wasn't plant-based. It did have kefir in it from raw cow's milk. So that was a bummer because I'm really morally into eating plant-based. This isn't me saying you should feel bad for not eating plant-based, by the way, but I'm just going to be honest and say it worked really well, and I felt really good, and my digestion felt really good. Hoping that this one does its job when it comes to that this time around too. So far, my body reacts really well. I've been on this one for quite a while, and so has my son. Last supplement in this kind of genre of supplements, you'll see what I mean here in a little bit, is a B12 supplement. Now, I take this regardless of if I am, trying to conceive or preparing for pregnancy, and it's probably one of those supplements that honestly everyone should be on regardless of if you're plant-based or not. Basically, our soil is just depleted of the bacteria that creates the B12 in the soil, which the animals eat. Most of the animals that people eat are now fortified with B12. However, it is hard for some people to absorb that B12. So I highly recommend supplementing with a B12 to be on the safe side regardless of your diet. And this is my favorite, and I just want to tell you why. Most B12 supplements have the form of B12 methylcobalamin. I don't know, I can never pronounce the end of it, but it's the M. Let's see if I can show you. The top one, the M one. That is what most B12 supplements have, or they have another one that starts with a C that I butcher that name as well, and that one is a synthetic version I highly recommend to avoid. But this one not only has the M word B12 source, but it also has the A word. I looked up how to say these and I still butcher them, so I'm just going to show you all again. And that's why I really like this one, because it has both of those forms, which are very rare to find a B12 supplement with the A word B12. I hope you all are keeping up with my lingo. You need both, so that is why. Again, this one is a liquid, and it is sweet, it's easy to take, and it's red. I don't know, maybe B12 is red, I don't know. But they don't have any dyes in it, it's clean ingredients. All it has is the B12, organic vegetable glycerin, distilled water, and energized trace minerals. Now on to the next set of supplements. So that's what I'm doing to prepare for conception and the pregnancy itself. These next ones are to prevent morning sickness. With my last pregnancy, I did have morning sickness from the morning till the night. I was really lucky and I just had the nausea. But saying that, if any of you all have ever been through morning sickness, you know that, like, you know the trials and tribulations you mentally and physically go through in that first trimester. And I want to work on and ensure that I have the smoothest first trimester ever, because after the first trimester, it was like I loved being pregnant. I enjoyed it. I loved every aspect. I never got to the point where I was like, oh, I'm so done being pregnant. As weird as it sounds, I was so excited to meet my son, but I was so sad to not be pregnant anymore. However, that first trimester was a different story. I was like counting the days till my second trimester. So this time around, I'm like, I'm going in prepared. So I did a lot of digging, and these are the supplements I found that women who had lots of horrible morning sickness, worse than I had, said that just made their first trimester so much better and smoother and least amount of symptoms when it came to morning sickness. That is magnesium oil. I've already mentioned this before, even in just my hormone and PCOS videos. And if you haven't seen it though, I am going to show you. You just shake it, spray it. Usually on the bottoms of your feet is where you can absorb it best. So even like an Epsom salt bath to do weekly is really good. I spray this on me daily though, especially if I'm taking the vitamin D, because these two go hand in hand in absorption with the body. Next is this supplement called milk thistle extract. So this milk thistle, primarily its job is to support the liver and liver function. And let me tell you, I started taking this and my skin became so much clearer. I already feel like I have really clear skin, but I would get the occasional pimple here and there every now and then. Not with this stuff, not with this stuff. So you can actually take this throughout pregnancy too, and it helps with when you get pregnant and all the extra, I guess not extra, it's all the hormones you need, but the ramp up in the amount of hormones you have in your body can be really hard on your liver, and some theories say that that's why some people have really bad morning sickness, is because the load of hormones and that strain on your liver. So this is supposed to help with that. So I thought that was awesome, because a lot of liver supporting supplements you cannot take during pregnancy, but this has been shown to be safe. And last supplement, because y'all are like, girl, how many supplements are you taking? Okay, I'm going in prepared, like I am setting myself up for success. Of course, can't forget my vitamin B complex. Now, my prenatal does have a vitamin B, so I'd probably be okay with that. However, even before this whole PCOS journey, I've always had issues with vitamin B absorption. Maybe I need to look more into this, but I would get cracks right here in my lips. I would have brittle nails, all these symptoms that naturopath I went to and some of the doctors I talked to said had to do with a vitamin B deficiency. So because they're water soluble anyways, girls loading up. And again, this is one of those supplements that people said if you kind of take beforehand and just keep in your body, that it helps minimize morning sickness. This is the B complex I am taking. I absolutely love this brand. One of the main B vitamins that is supposed to help ease nausea and morning sickness is B6. So this does have B6 in it. And I will say during my pregnancy, that first trimester, I finally had to take a medicine called diclegis just so I could eat anything besides a few crackers and rice Chex Mix. Like, it was crazy, y'all. I took the diclegis and I just felt it didn't take away the morning sickness completely, but it made it so much more manageable. I could go about my day and act like it wasn't there, whereas without it, it was like girlfriend had to lay on the couch and just try and get her mind off of how I was feeling. But that diclegis is made up of B6 and an antihistamine. So I'm hoping, you know, with taking it beforehand, having it in my body the whole time, that I'm going to be good to go. Now let's move on. You're like, girl, that is way too many supplements. I will say, once you get your positive pregnancy test, you stop taking these. And the vitamin D, I only take when the sun's not shining. Other stuff, I'm sure to take. This kind of correlates with supplements, but I'm making sure I get in those fertility foods on a daily or at least a weekly basis. So if you haven't seen my fertility foods video, I'm just gonna apologize in advance. I was so awkward in it, but I'm telling you, those foods are gold. So especially if you're trying to conceive or balance your hormones. So I will link it down below or around here, but I am sure to include those into my diet every day or at least throughout the week. Let's just get the one that's going to be obvious and kind of like an eye roller out of the way, and that is making sure I'm getting in my hydration. And I think I just splashed it. So I am sure to just always be drinking water, not just for the fertility aspect, but once you do conceive, your body uses so much water for the growth of your placenta and the amniotic fluid. So I like to get in the habit of drinking lots and lots of water beforehand. This will also prevent constipation during pregnancy, which many women experience. I was lucky enough I never did, but I've always been a big water drinker, and I was already plant-based going into that pregnancy, and I feel like, you know, plant-based is lots of fiber, lots of water. To me, that equals easy digestion. But I'm still sure, like I said, with your body using so much water in pregnancy, that I'm in the habit and ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Now, that being said, I'm the type of person, I always, if I'm thirsty, I gravitate towards water. But for some reason, I don't get the signal that I'm thirsty. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I could go hours and be like, I haven't even had a drink. I eat my food and I don't even have a drink. So I'm sure to just always have a glass by me. And this little trick, putting fruit or something in it to like catch your eye and it looks pretty. In fact, one of the YouTubers, I think her name's Sam, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, Azu, I don't know. I don't want to say it and say it wrong, but I'll link it down below. She calls it pretty water. And it's like, yes, that it really is. Because it's pretty, I want to drink it and it tastes good. And not only that, but the color in the water, like if I'm doing something, it catches my eye and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to drink some water. So really recommend adding like a touch of fruit just to get you drinking more water if you're anything like me and just, you act like a camel and you never drink. I don't know what it is. That's high quality H2O. All right, so right now I'm really sure that I am getting an abundance of calories in my diet, like above and beyond what I need. Like my breakfast is huge. I try to make my lunch big, but that tends to be the time I'm not that hungry since I had a really big breakfast, and then I force food down for dinner. And this just, is telling my body like I am getting an abundance of calories. I am ready for a baby, but it's also going to help me in that first trimester in case I do have food aversions, which I had massive food aversions in my last pregnancy in the first trimester. And I want to have that extra weight on to hold me over, to get to the second trimester. So I just want to be sure my body has that extra weight on it, and to me it's a healthy weight, and again, just telling my body like I am ready for that baby. Right now, I am also incorporating a lot of ab workout and stretching. So you're like, Hannah, ab workouts? I mean, really, your belly grows? Beautiful. I love the big belly I get during pregnancy. Seriously, like some people are so offended when someone's like, oh my goodness, your belly's so big, or they're just kind of like self-conscious about their belly, and I'm not shaming them for being like that. It's totally fine if you feel that way. That's how you feel, and you should honor your feelings. But I honestly love it. Like I love the attention on my belly. I love when people touch my belly. I don't know what it was. I was excited about it though. And with that being said though, I never took the time to do core exercises before pregnancy or really even after. And I was a fit person going into pregnancy. I want to be sure my core strength is at its as strong as it can be. And I'll tell you why. Because when you're pregnant and your belly's expanding, those abs separate just a smidgen. Some people, they stretch way more than just a smidgen. And after pregnancy, the majority of women have gaps between their abs, me being one of them. And that little sucker right there is a pain in the arse. And this time around, I want to be sure to have that core strength going into pregnancy, and just to minimize the gap this time, because they say the second pregnancy it can get worse. So there's certain ab workouts you can do specifically that are safe for when it's called diastasis recti. And if you all are interested in seeing that workout routine for preparing for pregnancy, let me know down below and I will film one. But my ab workouts are safe for diastasis recti because I still have a little gap, like it's just hanging on. So I am working my hardest to get it closed before this pregnancy comes along. And along with exercise, I'm also doing stretches, just because once you become pregnant, everything loosens up and starts to shift. Your hips start to open, you get little tinges of pain from everything trying to stretch. So I just want to be as flexible and limble and malleable as possible this pregnancy. So maybe it'll just, maybe it'll just be an easy expansion and smooth, and everything will just kind of blossom beautifully. If you've ever been pregnant, you're probably rolling your eyes right now. Like, girl, blossoming and just gracefully expanding, like, shut up. But that's the goal, okay? That is the goal. Along with preparing for my stomach and body to be expanding and shifting and changing, I am sure right now to be moisturizing the heck out of my skin, because I had an itchy belly during the last pregnancy. I lived in a colder, drier climate, so now I'm hoping, being down in Florida where it's humid, that it won't be the case. But I also want to just be prepared and have that skin moisturized and ready to go this time around. I'm a big advocate for just coconut oil, avocado oil, natural oils, lathering them all over me, specifically my belly, my butt, and my thighs. These may be pretty obvious, but just in case they're not, next thing I'm doing is really tracking my cycle to see at which phase of my cycle I am at. If you haven't already, I've already mentioned this book, but I highly recommend you read the book Taking Charge of Your Fertility. I read it and it was so eye-opening. I don't know why we aren't forced to read that book in school as women, or even men too, just to learn how the women's cycle works and to know that we are actually only fertile a couple days out of the month. But that book is a game changer, and with that being said, that is the techniques used in that book is what I'll be using to track my cycle this time around as well. That, along with OPKs, ovulation predictor kits, so you just pee on it just like you would pregnancy test, and it tells you if you have had your LH surge, and it kind of gives you that 48-hour window of doing the baby dance, because you know that you are ovulating. So if you are still here watching this video, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you for hanging in there. If any of you all are on this journey, you know what to do. And if you're new here, you know what to do. Yes. If any of you all are preparing for a pregnancy, which I would think that the majority of you watching this video are, let me know down below how long you've been trying, what you're hoping for, what you're excited for, or maybe even your fears. Let me know down below. I want to hear from you all. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Baby dust to all of you wanting those babies right now. Girl, I'm in that boat with you. Get excited because your baby is on its way.